As we go through this exercise, and as you listen to the real conversations that you're about to hear, imagine yourself making these phone calls. The more of them you make and the better you are at them, the more deals you're going to find. And remember, everything is learnable if you'll put the effort in to learn it. So pay attention, practice, and you'll be amazed at how quickly you'll be making calls just like these.
Thank you for calling Pike Properties. This is Anthony. How can I help you?
Hi, Anthony. I received a couple of your letters and guess you're looking to buy homes, so I'm wondering if you can help me out.
Well, I'm sure we can. I appreciate you calling in. I didn't catch your name.
My name's Amanda Jones.
Amanda Jones. Well, again, Amanda, I appreciate you calling in. Let me tell you a little bit more about our company and how we work and see if we can be a fit.
Great.
First and foremost, we are a local company here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And what we do is we get some basic information about you, the property, and most importantly, your situation and your goals. And from there, in about 24 hours or so, we'll make you a cash offer on your home. Now, there are a few unique things about the cash offer that you need to know. First and foremost, we are going to be buying as is, where is. That means you'll never be asked to make any repairs, regardless of what they may be. In addition to that, although we are realtors, we're not going to ask you for any commissions or any fees. Typically, we pay all closing costs as well. So that's a nice little side benefit where we can both save some money. And last but not least, we always close on whatever your timeline is, in as little as about 7 to 10 business days. So with that said, let's just start with the easiest first. What's your address?
My address is 1324 Bay Street in Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Bay Street.
Mm,
It's not too far from our office, actually.
great.
Yeah. Now, is this a good phone number for you, or do you have another number that works better for you?
This is a good one.
Okay. And I had that as 980-329. Is it 2229?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now, Amanda, are you the only one on title, or is there someone else that we'll need to talk to?
I'm the executor.
Okay. All right. So that means is there anybody else still
Mm-hmm.
involved with the whole process?
Yeah, my two sisters are also involved. My grandfather left us the home.
Oh, okay. Now, is it a home that you might have lived in or
No,
visited? Okay.
just visited.
Okay. All right. So never lived in. So is it safe to assume that it's currently vacant?
Yes.
All right. And how long has it been vacant? Did you guys recently inherit it, or is this something that you've had for a while now?
No, we just recently inherited it and just don't want the burden of it.
You know what? I hear that all the time, and I kind of don't know how we fell into it, but we do work with a lot of clients in similar situations to that. And out of curiosity, your other two sisters, are they local or are they sort of spread out?
No, one's in Nevada and one's in Texas. Is that going to be a problem?
No, it's definitely not a problem. It's just something I'd like to know up front.
Okay, good.
Okay, so it sounds like they're comfortable with you making the decisions. Is it safe to assume if you and I can come to terms on a value for your home that they would be on board with that as well?
Yes, absolutely.
Got it. All right, perfect. Tell me some of the details about the home. I can find out a lot of information through the tax records, but it's not always accurate. So things like the bedrooms and baths, the size, any special features I should know about?
Okay. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's probably about 1,700 square feet.
Okay.
Um, if you like retro, it's stuck in the 60s. My grandfather lived there for many, many years and didn't do anything to it. So it has that real retro feel to it.
Nice. Are we looking at shag carpet and funky wallpaper? Or
Yes. Yep.
okay, we get a
Maybe
lot of
even
that.
some wood paneling.
Okay, well, there's nothing wrong with that. We can work around that. That's mainly cosmetic. Is any of the other big features on the home, have they been updated at all? Roof, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, anything that you know of?
I have no idea. I would doubt it. I mean, he took
Okay.
really good care of the home and everything, but I don't know if he ever had anybody come service different things or updated anything. I really don't know.
I got you. Do you know of any immediate repairs that need to be made to the home?
Um, gosh, not not off the top of my head. I mean, like I said, he took really good care of it, so hopefully it's just cosmetic.
Okay. Well, usually in these scenarios, what we find is, like you just said, they have been really well maintained, but not up to the standards of today's buyer, if you
Mhm.
will. One of the questions I like to ask is, I'm assuming you've been in the home recently, at least.
Yes.
Okay. If you were to move into the home, what are some of the improvements that you would make to the home?
Oh goodness. I would gut the whole house and
Okay.
get out of the 60s and make it much more modern. You know, probably do more of an open concept. You know, back in the days when it was built, they kind of compartmentalized every single room. So um, I'd probably open it up, uh, get a closet space. There's not a lot of closet space in there right now. Um, so I'm
Okay.
certain with that it would take take some rearranging of the space to just make it bigger. You know, it'd probably be
Okay.
down. If I were to do it, I'd probably make it a two bedroom, two bath, just to give
I got
myself more space.
Sure, sure. Well, hey, that's actually what we specialize in. We like the full remodels, keeping the charm of the older homes, but then, adding some modern features to it, if you will, opening
Hmm.
up walls and, making things more open and airy.
Great.
Now, have you tried listing it at all? Have you talked to any realtors or anything like that that we should know about?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. So am I your first contact?
Yes. Hmm.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, your
Yeah.
letters were good, and you sent me a couple of them. So, like I said, we just want to be done with it and not have the burden. So, anything you can do to help would be great.
Okay, well, we'll try to find something that works. And even if we're not the right fit, I'm happy to refer you to somebody that is. Just know that in advance.
Great.
Uh, Now, what about the mortgage? Is there a mortgage, I should ask? Is there
No,
something that we're going to have to pay off or
nope.
no?
It's free and clear.
No? Any other liens or
No,
anything else with the estate that maybe you have to pay off?
nope.
No? Okay.
He was a
All
good
right.
saver and a good planner, and we're in really good shape, fortunately.
All right. All right. Good. That's what you like to hear when you have these
Exactly.
conversations. Uh, All right. Now, did you guys have a timeline that you wanted to sell? I mean, I got my gut feeling what the answer is, but gotta ask.
Yeah, yesterday would be
Yeah.
great.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Mhm.
Especially when it's vacant and in that part of town, and since you're the only one here managing it, I'm sure that's a burden.
Mhm.
Uh, okay, did you guys discuss at all amongst yourself what you're hoping to sell the property for?
We did. We were thinking like right at about 100.
Okay. And out of curiosity, I mean, is that price flexible at all?
Possibly. You know, we've looked at some of the other homes in the neighborhood that have sold and um, what they're going for, and thought this was pretty reasonable price, knowing that it needs some work.
Okay. Other homes in the neighborhood. All right, that's good. At least you're out there and you're familiar with the other activity that's going on. I want to just kind of re-verbalize one of the things, one of the features and benefits of working with us. Again, remember, we're going to save you a lot of money at the end of the day, not only on the commission side of things, but also on the time and holding it and tax costs and things of that nature. Try to make this as easy as possible. With that said, what do you think the best you could do is?
Hmm. You know, we could probably come down um, 10 grand.
Okay.
So probably in
say
the
90.
90 range, yeah.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, would it freak you guys out if I was closer to that 75 to 80 range?
Probably not. I mean, we know it needs some work, so it's going to take somebody probably an investment to put it in. So, we'll be flexible as long as it's a fair deal.
Sure, absolutely. I would expect no less. And I definitely, when we meet, I'm going to bring comparables of other recent sales, and I'll also outline the improvements that we would make and a rough cost estimate as well. Because the last thing I would want is for you to feel like you got taken advantage of. It's definitely not our goal.
Great.
We want you to be happy, and I know you have to go back and explain this to your two sisters as well. So if you agreed upon 100 and we end up at 75, you need to have an explanation. I fully understand that.
Well, I'll tell them that we only got 25 for it and we have to split that 3 ways, and then I'll take the extra for my work and efforts. I think that sounds fair.
You're thinking out of the box now. I like it. Well, I'm afraid that everybody's going to have to sign, even though you're the executor. Typically, that's the rule of thumb. But it will be fair regardless, and I think everybody will be happy.
Great.
Well, I think you're in line with roundabout where we would be, and obviously you're right around the corner from our office. So if we could, I'd love to set something up today and take a closer look at it while we have the funding available here. We can only assign our funding in so many places. Our piggy bank is only so full. So are you more available maybe this afternoon or maybe later this evening to take a look?
Probably this afternoon. We can do it while it's still daylight out.
Excellent. Would you be on a lunch break, say around noon or 1 o'clock?
Yeah. Probably 12:30 would work perfect for me.
12:30, we can make that happen.
Okay.
Perfect. Now, I definitely encourage you. I mean, if you're nervous about meeting at the property, keep in mind we are part of the Better Business Bureau. Feel free to look us up. We do have an A rating. I will be traveling myself and my business partner, Matt, and feel free to bring anyone else along that you would like.
Okay, that sounds great. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So if anything comes up between now and then, please give me a call, this number that you called in on.
Okay.
Otherwise, I will see you at 12:30.
That sounds great. See you then.
All right, see you then.
Okay, bye-bye.
Excellent. In no time, you'll be able to fill out a seller lead sheet and engage your sellers in the same warm and comforting manner that'll get you the information you need to make appointments and make deals. But let's not stop here. Let's go ahead and work to get you to that next level of competency. Let's go ahead and look at Anthony and John, who are real estate investors like yourself. Thanks to their marketing campaigns, they're receiving a lot of calls from sellers who have potential deals. So go ahead and print 2 seller lead sheets. Again, as you are taking this particular lesson, you'll see a link to the bottom or to the right of your screen where you can print 2 seller lead sheets. Once you've done that, go ahead, pause this, go and print those seller lead sheets, then come back and listen to the following conversations and fill out the seller lead sheet as you listen to the conversations, becoming comfortable with the process. All right, here's our first call with Cactus Street. As you listen, fill out the seller lead sheet.
Thank you for calling Arizona Properties. This is Anthony. How can I help you?
Hi, Anthony. I am looking to sell my home, and I got a letter in the mail from you all, so I was wondering if you could buy my house.
Okay. Well, yeah, I definitely appreciate your calling, and I didn't catch your name.
It's Sally McCormick.
Sally. Got it. Well, Sally, let me tell you a little bit more about our company and how we operate, and we'll see if we could be a fit. Basically, we're a local company here, and what we do, we basically get some real simple, easy information from you about the house and, most importantly, your situation and your goals. From there, we can most oftentimes make you a cash offer within about 24 hours or so. Now, the unique thing about that offer is it's going to be absolutely as is, meaning we'd never ask you to make any repairs. In addition to that, we can always close on your timeline, whatever that might be. It could be as little or as long as you need. And as little as about 10 to 14 days or so. Okay? And
Okay.
we are realtors, by the way, but we're not going to ask for any commissions or anything like that. So that helps us both save a little bit of money.
Yeah,
Let's start with
definitely.
yeah, absolutely. Anytime we could save money is a good thing, right?
Yep.
Well, let's just start with the easiest first and see if I know where your property is roundabout. So what's the property address?
It's 254 Cactus Street in Mesa, Arizona.
Okay. And it does sound familiar. What subdivision is that in?
That's the McGregor subdivision.
Perfect. I think I have heard of it. I don't think we've done any projects there, but I am familiar with it. And
Great.
Sally, is this the best phone number to reach you on, by the way? I got
Probably my cell is better. That number is 480-222-4888.
Okay, perfect. And before we go any further, is there anybody else on title that I should be speaking to?
No, just me.
Okay. All right. And I'm assuming you're the only mortgage holder as well. I know it sounds like a silly question, but you'd be surprised.
Yes, it's all me.
All right, perfect. Well, tell me some of the basics about the home. You know, how many bedrooms, how many baths, updates and improvements, things like that.
Okay. It's 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's 1 story, which is nice here in the desert. And it has ceiling fans in all of the rooms. And I don't know, it's just kind of your normal basic home, tile throughout the house. Again, trying to keep it cool.
Okay. All right. And do you happen to know the year that it was built by chance? And, you know, I guess how long have you lived there?
Yeah, it was built back in the 80s, I think like around 1985. So it's a little older. I've lived there now for about 7 years. And it's been nice kind of
All right.
starter home for me.
All right, good. Well, did you make any improvements when you purchased the home, or at least since then?
You know, just not a whole lot. I mean, they had just done some updates to the countertops, and they aren't granite, but they're nice. They're functional. I don't spend a lot of time in the kitchen, so it's not one of my places that I'm going to invest a lot of money. But just
Okay,
like
well,
I did some painting and some, I did desert landscaping, so there's no lawn maintenance.
Okay, great. Everybody likes less maintenance. Anytime I hear that, that's a plus in my book. Let's go the other direction now. Now, are there any repairs that need to be made at all that you know of?
You know, it probably could just use some updating. Like I said, it's a little older, and you know, the sun in Phoenix is a little hard on homes.
Okay, and well, speaking of that, I know air conditioning is a major thing out there. So have you replaced your heating and air, you know, within the last 10 years?
No, I'm pretty certain it's the original.
Okay, and what about some of the other bigger items like the roof, the windows? Have any of those been replaced anytime recently?
I had to have somebody come take a look because it has just regular shingles, not the tile shingles that most homes in the area have. So there's probably some work just because, again, with the sun on just regular shingle roofs is a little hard on them, and I think they probably are, again, the original, so that could probably use some work too.
Okay. And I won't bug you anymore with this, but just hypothetically, if you're going to live in the home for maybe another 5 to 10 years, what type of improvements would you make to it? I mean, would you improve any of the baths or anything else?
Yeah, I'd probably get it just a little bit more up to date, a little more modern. It just, like I said, it's a fine starter home, and the paint looks really nice in it, and it looks nice with the flooring and all my furniture. But it probably could use, some updates in that regard. Just better countertops and better vanities. But it's a lot of space. I mean, the space is really great.
Well, speaking of that, how many square feet is it?
It's like it's probably around like 2,300 square feet.
Okay.
So for me, one person, it's a lot of space for me.
That is a lot of maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me ask you. I mean, you've called in, and we know that you want to sell the home, and it needs some basic upkeep and maybe some modernizing. Now, have you tried listing it all with a realtor?
Yeah, it was just listed. Yeah.
Oh, it was. Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how long did you have it listed?
It was on the market about 6 months.
Okay, and do you remember what price you had it listed at?
We had it. The last listing price we had it at was at $340.
Okay, so you probably had it higher and then dropped it down maybe a couple times?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you have any offers during that time?
I did. I had one offer.
Okay. Do you remember how much it was for?
Yeah, it was about 300. Kind of kicking myself now.
Yeah. Well, out of curiosity, why didn't you take it?
Well, my realtor said that they thought I could get more for it.
I gotcha.
But I'm kind of guessing not, being that I only got the one offer and it sat there. So I'm a little frustrated with the realtor.
Well, you know what, that happens. I mean, sometimes those things are a gut call. I'm also a realtor, so I know it's a tough balance trying to figure out what the right price is. And I mean, if your home needs some modernizing and needs updates and things of that nature, then a lot of times, new home buyers can't really envision themselves there. That's my struggle with a renovator. I got to do everything. I can't put lipstick on it. I have to change out every single item in that house. So I know when I buy it, I'll definitely have to change out the roof and the HVAC, probably put new windows in, and all the other stuff that we talked about. So anyway, I won't bore you with that. But well, let me ask you: is there anything else I need to know about the mortgage? Assuming that we can come to terms on price. Is there anything else that I'm going to have to relinquish? Any back taxes, any liens, any HOA dues, or anything like that?
Nope, everything's current.
Okay, perfect. That's a plus. You're in my plus category immediately. When we talk to somebody, you never know what you're going to get. I mean, it's so crazy right now with the economy and so many foreclosures, short sales, and whatnot. So
yep,
good for
I'm
you.
definitely fortunate.
Absolutely. Now, how much of your mortgage are we going to have to pay off? I mean, do you know how much you owe on the home?
Right now I owe about $220.
20? Okay, good. It's good you had some flexibility there. That's huge. Now, Let me ask you, is there a particular reason that you're looking to sell?
I just need to probably escape this heat, and I want to get closer to my family. They're back in Oregon, and I just like to be closer to family. While I've loved my time in Arizona, it's the heat is finally getting to me.
All right. Well, no, I completely understand that. I've moved up and down the East Coast and been over to the West Coast. I'm all over the place, so I definitely know the importance of being around family. I can appreciate that. So is it safe to assume you're looking to sell the home as quickly as possible?
Yeah, that would be great. So I could get up there, in the next, month or so, find a job and and just spend some good quality time with my family.
Good for you. Well, hopefully we can help you do that. So I'm going to say that you're about 30 to 60 days out. So you probably need time for moving, like you said, find a new job. And we definitely don't want to rush you out or anything like that. I don't want you to get the wrong impression. Let me ask you, do you have a price in mind that you're hoping to sell the home for at this point?
Being that it was listed at 340 and it didn't really move at that price, I'm kind of thinking between, 300 and 310. I mean, we can go higher, but I would say, that's probably a good
Now, is that flexible at all? I mean, would you work with me if we can come close to that price?
Yeah, probably. I mean, that's kind of what that first offer came in at, and yeah, I could probably have some flexibility.
Okay. Well, one thing I would say is keep in mind, I just want to reiterate some of the money that will save you during the process. Remember, we'll never ask you to make any repairs, and that's actually a really big deal. A standard inspection that comes in nowadays is going to have 30-plus line items that you need to fix. And that's cash out of your pocket. We would never ask you to do that. We own renovation companies, and it's much cheaper for us to do that. So we would rather take on that burden, not you. In addition to that, we don't have to get financing, so we'll never have to go to a third-party lender or a bank, rather, and ask them to give us a loan. And lo and behold, we get appraisals and all these things that could mess up the whole sale at the end of the day. So knowing that we have some of those different factors in there, I mean, what do you think the absolute best is that you could do?
It does need some work, so I would say probably like 290.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you telling me that. And I mean, could you do any better than that?
I don't know. You sent me the letter. What do you think?
Fair enough. Fair enough. I can appreciate that. I would probably say the same thing. You know what? To be honest with you, we analyze so many properties every day that I wouldn't want to give you a number off the top of my head. But I think that we're at least in the right range where I have enough information where I'd love to set up an appointment to meet with you and take a closer look.
Okay.
And hopefully we can put our heads together and determine a price that's fair for you and also fair for us.
Okay.
What's your schedule like in the next couple of days? Are you more available today or maybe tomorrow?
Oh gosh. I work all day. I could do something in the evening if you want to do that, but maybe like
Sure.
Saturday morning would be even better.
Okay. No, I'm fine with that. My job in real estate never stops, so it's always around the clock. Weekends are work days for us. So
Okay.
Saturday, would you rather do Saturday morning or in the afternoon?
Yeah, I think morning would be best.
Morning, okay. So are you an early riser? Would 9 or maybe 10 o'clock work better?
Let's do 10 o'clock. That would be great.
10 o'clock, perfect. All right. Sally, again, I appreciate the call. I will call and confirm this on Friday to make sure we're still on. In the meantime, if anything comes up on your end, please give me a call, the same number that you called in on, and just let us know, and I'll definitely do the same.
Okay, that sounds great. Thanks so much, Anthony.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Excellent. Hopefully you listened carefully and you now have a seller lead sheet that you filled out. I also hope you'll go back and listen to how Anthony just, in a very kind and relaxing way, got the answers from the seller. Let's go ahead and compare Anthony's seller lead sheet to your seller lead sheet. Did you have something similar? If you did, well done. And I hope as you filled it out that you noticed that while Anthony might have gone more or less in order, that there were some times where he jumped back and forth. So the questions don't have to be in the exact order as you work through the seller lead sheet. Again, well done. Even if you didn't get everything perfect, you should have felt yourself grow. You should be more familiar with the seller lead sheet and have a feel for the conversations as they should go between the investor and the seller. Let's go ahead and do this second call and fill out your second seller lead sheet, and let's see if you can't get even more comfortable. Here we go.
Thank you for calling CT Homes. This is John. How can I help you?
Hi, John. I saw a sign that you buy houses, and I was interested to hear how you do that.
Yeah, we sure do. I didn't catch your name.
My name is Maggie Smith.
Smith. Well, I appreciate you calling in. And let me give you a little more insight on our company first and foremost, and then we can see if we'd be a fit.
Okay.
We are a local company, and what we do is we get some basic information about the property and obviously your situation and whatever your goals are. And from there, within about 24 hours or so, we can make you a cash offer on the home. Now that cash offer will be completely as is. I'm not going to ask you to make any repairs ever. In addition to that, we're not going to ask for any commissions, any fees, dues, any closing costs or anything like that. We're trying to save you and I some money there. In addition to that, we can close on whatever timeline you have, in as little as about 10 days if need be. Does that sound good?
Okay.
All right. Let's just start with the easiest first. What's your property address?
It is 167 Garnett in San Diego.
Okay. Is that Pacific Beach?
Yes. Yep.
All right. Yeah, I'm familiar with that area. Good. And Maggie, what's your phone number? What's a good number to reach you if we get disconnected?
Sure. It's 858-844-6586.
86. Perfect. I appreciate it. And is it safe to assume you're the only one on title?
Yes.
Okay, good. I only asked that. I want to make sure I'm talking to the right person.
Okay.
And I guess you're probably the only mortgage holder as well? Then?
Yes. All is on me.
All right. Lucky you. Now, why do you want to sell, by the way?
I'm just trying to kind of see what my options are.
Okay. All right. Just saw the sign, thought you'd call in and
Yep.
see what we're all about, right?
Exactly.
Well, perfect. Well, if you could, just tell me a little bit more about the home. First and foremost, do you still live in the home?
I do. Yes.
Okay. And what about some of the statistics of it? I mean, bedrooms, bathrooms, any special features I should know about, things like that.
Right. It's probably your typical kind of beach cottage. I'm a block and a half away from the beach, which is great. It's 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, just about 1,100 square feet.
1,100. Okay, that's kind of typical for that area.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about repairs? Does the home need any repairs?
No, it's fine. Maybe some cosmetic things.
Okay, well, let me rephrase that a little bit. Assuming you're going to stay in the home and I was to hypothetically give you $20,000, what kind of improvements would you make to the home?
I'd probably look at like the bathrooms and just upgrade those. They're a little old, and it would be nice to have a really nice spa-like bathroom, and then probably a little more space somehow, either closet space or something, and maybe some new windows, just because it can get a little loud down in this area with all the different types of people they have down here, and I'm on kind of a main road, so I'd probably put in better windows and window treatments.
Got it. Okay. You said something that kind of sparked my interest here. You said baths. Now, originally you said 3-bedroom, 1-bath. Is there a half bath in there probably?
No, I would add one.
I got
I
you.
would
Okay.
add just something, ideally I'd like a nice big, large bath for myself and any guests, and then I'd also like just a smaller bathroom that anybody can use without having to go into the full bath.
Sure, sure. We usually make that adjustment whenever we're making renovations down there. Buyers are picky right now, so you got to have all those special features. Now, I didn't ask you, is the home listed with a realtor at all?
No,
No. Okay. Have you listed with one in the past?
no, I have not.
Okay. All right. So I'm your first contact, is what you're saying?
Yep.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Well, let me ask you a little bit more about the current debt that you might have on the home.
Okay.
Now, I'm assuming you do have a mortgage, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Are you current on the payments?
Not really, no.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I mean, that's kind of common right now. We handle all these different situations, so nothing's going to shock me.
Okay.
How many months behind are you?
Right now I'm 1 month behind.
1 month behind. Okay. And do you know offhand what your monthly payment is roughly?
Yeah, I'm about 2,500.
Okay. Okay. So let me see. What do you owe on the property? Do you know exactly? I mean, it must be close to that 400,000 or 500,000 range.
Yeah, close to the 400.
Okay. So is there a first and a second, or is that all on one mortgage?
No, I have two. I have two mortgages, so one for 300 and then another for 100.
Okay. And do you know who they're with?
Yes, both of them are with Bank of America.
Bank of America. Okay. We've been doing a lot of work with them, a lot of short sale work. Oh man, you'd be blown away how many of those files are Bank of America. They, unfortunately and fortunately, they do use an online system, so it makes it a little bit easier. We wouldn't have human-to-human interaction if we had to go down that route. But
Okay.
they use a system called Equator. I don't know if you've tried to do any loan modifications or anything like that.
Yeah,
Have you?
they really don't seem very helpful with me. I was hoping I could get some help, refinancing or doing something, and I just keep getting real mixed messages about what my options are. So I'm just, again, just trying to explore what all the options are. If I ended up having to sell it, what would that look like? If they're going to work with me, what does that look like? Um, just trying to figure everything out so I know
Sure.
how to prepare.
Certainly, certainly. Well, you called the right guys. I mean, we deal with a lot of this, especially, after the whole real estate bubble burst. I mean, everybody seemed to kind of jump right into short sales, and we have a whole sector of our business that's really focused on that.
Okay.
So, and I know the area, and I definitely know the price point and the size of your home. Seeing that you are behind, it's safe to assume that we might have to go down that route.
Okay.
Okay, so just wanted to prep you on that. But just know that you are in good hands.
Okay.
In addition to that, I know you're behind the 1 month payment, but what about other things? Taxes, insurance, anything else?
No, that's all rolled into the mortgage.
A little bit. Okay. Now, what's your main reason that you want to sell it? Is it because you're behind, or are you able to catch up on that payment?
I'm trying. I hope it's possible. I really don't want to have to sell. Like I said, I really hope I can get some help, but I want to know all my options and kind of if there's any possibility to walk away ahead of the game or at least not in such a hole. So
I got you.
I'm just trying
All
to
right.
kind of get a feel for what's out there and what those options are if I absolutely have to sell.
Okay. And well, did you have a timeline in mind if you did sell?
Not really. I mean, I have calls into the bank to see what they can do. I'm hoping, I've called a few other of these advertisements that say if you're in a a home situation where you're underwater, give us a call. And supposedly they're supposed to help kind of play out the options. But I'm not sure what my best option is, and how long this process takes, how much longer I can stay in the house without something terrible happening, being that I'm already 1 month behind. So I'm just, trying to get information. I really, like I said, I'm on the beach in Pacific Beach. I have this house. I love it. I love the area, and I really want to stay. So if there's any way to make that happen, that's what I want to do.
I got you. So it sounds like you might be in a loan modification situation if they're willing to do that, but I do know that it is difficult to work with the Equator System and Bank of America sometimes, and you have to fit all their different criteria for a loan modification, just like a short sale.
Exactly.
They give you a little more insight on a short sale before we go any further.
Okay.
First and foremost, it's called a short sale because we're shorting the mortgage. So if you owe $400,000 on the home and it's essentially worth $300,000, then that $100,000 difference is called the short. Okay, the bank is going to assume that, not you.
Okay.
One thing I do need to tell you about a short sale is, unless you qualify for some of the government programs, a lot of times you don't receive any money from doing a short sale. I need to tell you that up front.
Okay.
The benefit of doing it is you don't have the burden of that overhead.
Mm-hmm.
That $100,000 deficiency, that difference. We're going to do everything in our power to help negotiate that away. But if you had in mind that you wanted to derive some sort of income from selling your home in this situation, unfortunately, we can't, and really no one can provide that.
So it wouldn't even benefit me to call a realtor and see if they can sell it for me?
Well, I mean, actually, you would have to list it with a realtor, and we could help you with that. We could provide you with that resource.
Okay.
But keep in mind, again, unless you qualify for government programs that's going to give you some sort of, I don't want to call it a kickback, but really just a certain amount of money. I've seen $3,000, I've seen $10,000 given back to sellers for doing the right thing and not walking away from a home. But again, it all depends whether or not you qualify for that.
Okay.
Otherwise, no, we'd have to disclose any money coming back to you. So even if I wanted to give you, 50 grand to sell the home and to short it, I'd have to disclose that to the bank, and they wouldn't allow it. So, with that said, I mean, is that something you're comfortable with? Are you comfortable just removing the burden and removing the debt right now, and not having that hang over your head, knowing that you probably won't derive any income?
Oh, to me, that's just kind of the last resort. If I have to go that route, yes, but I think I still have a little bit of time, where maybe in the next 30 days, I'll see which direction it goes, and hopefully I can get out of this situation and keep my home.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the number one priority. And what I'd like to do, if I could, I'd like to send you an email with a contact person's name that helps folks like yourself with loan modifications.
Okay.
And it's a local title company that we work with. And they also help us out with short sales as well. So they can give you more detailed information that maybe I didn't cover.
All right.
And then also potentially help you out with the loan modification.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work out, we'll always be here. We're not going anywhere.
Okay.
So we can always put in our offer to the bank and align you with the correct realtor, somebody on our staff who will help negotiate this for you and make sure you don't have any of this debt over your head. Does that sound good?
That sounds great. Yeah, really, really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Could I get that email address from you?
It's msmith@yahoo.com.
Okay. Perfect. And as soon as we get off the line, I'm going to send you that email and also CC in Charles. He'll be the gentleman that you're going to speak to.
Okay.
And I'll follow back up with you to make sure you guys connected and hopefully that you're heading in the right direction.
Perfect. That sounds great. I really appreciate your help.
Absolutely. Thank you, Maggie. I appreciate you calling in.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Excellent. Hopefully you noticed that this seller has a completely different scenario. A scenario where the seller really, really wants to keep the home. Notice how John the investor had a team member to whom he could refer the seller. That's huge. Make sure you built your teams so you have people to whom to refer your sellers. Then if it doesn't work out, you'll have built trust and rapport. Let's go ahead and compare your seller lead sheet to John's seller lead sheet. Excellent. Does yours look somewhat similar? If so, good job. If not, no big deal. Keep practicing and you'll get better and better at it. All right. Again, good job. And don't forget, you can come back as often as you need to engage and learn from these examples.